It is October, time for big moments like this, so hopefully coming back indoors, his hands are warmed up and ready to go. Staring hard at this yellow cross. Good turning to start things off, a little bit shaky right there at the tail end of F2L. 699, he improves off of his pre-fire solving. But a 699 is definitely doable for Sameer.
You can see on his very last F2L pair here, he uses F moves to take out that pair that's in the slot in order to orient all of his edges. Unfortunately, gets a Z permutation, which is the longest edge PLL that you can get. But still, a 699 is very respectable, especially coming off of that long break.
12. Sameer now looking very analytical. What is he putting together here? Another, it's just a masterclass of smooth turning from Sameer as he gets 6, 7, 8. He will just barely fly under. Morgan solve up 1 point to 0. Remember, it is one set to win.
First to one set.
Yeah, and the 6, 7, 8, 9 at that. And you know, Sameer being from this area, maybe the cold didn't affect him as much being outside for a little bit, or maybe he just benefited from a bit of a break here. But leaving, he just left off where he's starting, right where he left off.
Morgan looking long and hard from to the cube at this orientation, and just a great looking F2L there. Here's the ZB recognition and execution, looked almost perfect. 632, beautiful solving from Morgan.
That was a great Pi ZBLO from Morgan. I don't know if he was just doing COLO there or if he actually knew the ZB, but very impressive nonetheless to be able to pull that off. Pi ZB is pretty rare to see from people who don't use it, except I'm starting to remember that he did also use another Pi ZB earlier in the tournament, so it seems like Pi ZB is totally on the table for him.
632. Sameer has gotten, I think, a couple fives today, so not outrageous by any means. And this F2L is looking fantastic. He's going to chase it and then some. 580. So Morgan Yeh, the third seed, is down 2 solves to 0. He has 1 solve, and he's out.
And again, he's not even solving terribly here. It's just that Sameer is outperforming him. He nails the execution on this Olo here. It's pretty difficult to do that very reliably, but absolutely no lockups and doesn't mess up the A-perm at all either. Just, once again, like completely clean solving from Sameer, and that's something that can totally carry you to a win in these tournaments.
And I think Morgan used the timeout here. I mean, if you're Morgan, this is like your chance. Otherwise, like, you just might not get to use the timeout again, right? So you might as well use it here while you have the chance, I think. It's really weird because it's exactly as you're saying, I think. I think Morgan is solving well, but Sameer is just a class above. Chris, what do you do? What do you do if you're Morgan in this set?
I mean, I think I mentioned this earlier, but you can't really try to overcompensate because, like, this isn't something that you practice for. You just need to stay within your own means and try to solve the best that you can solve and not try to think about beating the other person. Otherwise, your turning is going to go all haywire. So you really just need to try to solve the best that you can and not think about beating the other person. I also really do like the timeout here because this may be like your final time that you're in this tournament, so you might as well just stay for as long as you can. It's actually, let's see, is this even a timeout or is this a technical timeout? Because otherwise then Morgan right after this could decide to actually use his real timeout and then get even more time.
Yeah, true. It did seem like there was some sort of signal from what I understood, but then again, both Morgan and Sameer were sat in their seat when it happened. No, it looks like, yeah, Morgan actually did take the timeout, which, you know, makes a lot of sense. He's back now. He's just kind of getting warmed up, getting his hands warmed up a little bit. Maybe that it did play to some factor, although I feel like his turning, from both competitors, the turning has been great in these 4 solves that we've seen.
Yeah, and Sameer's turning is just on another level. I think that really is his strength. And for Morgan, he's not letting the nerves get to him, but we'll see if the nerves can get to him in these last solves because he knows he's on the brink of elimination here.
Competitors may start whenever they choose.
All right, and here's the match. Good to see Morgan with a smile on his face. Of course, great effort from him, regardless of the outcome of this tournament. But of course, he's going to want to go just a little bit deeper. And he'll be backing himself to do that. Needs to win this solve, though. Yellow cross is the choice. Again, some great fluid turning. A bit of a pause between pairs 3 and 4. 7:02, and yeah, that pause, that might end up making the difference, unfortunately.
His turning wasn't bad when he was turning, but it seemed like the solve was a little bit choppy. Like he would have really good burst turning in between his F2L pairs, but yeah, on the third pair here and the fourth pair, he just paused too much. He hesitated a little bit too on what to do for the L permutation. And let's see if Sameer can close the door on this match.
Yeah, Morgan choosing to not even watch, just look out into the distance. 5:30 in Seattle, and it's completely dark outside. And Sameer just looking absolutely flawless. He's got it, 5.13. That's the fastest solve that he's gotten so far. And he ends Morgan's tournament run. No wins for Morgan, unfortunately, as Sameer advances in this lower bracket.
And the hometown hero is moving on. That was an amazing last solve for him to close that out. He had the shortest possible last layer pretty much with the 6-move Olo into the J permutation. But just look at this F2L. Flying through it, knew what Olo he was going to get. Clean execution on the J perm. And once again, Sameer's turning is carrying him to these wins, and he's going to need that if he wants to have a shot at winning this.
Indeed, yeah. Fantastic stuff from Sameer. Some more high-speed speed cubing action coming to you right after this break.